Welcome to episode 2 of the Changemakers with Forbes India and Hilton. We are excited to host 3 incredible changemakers in this episode exploring luxury market dynamics.
There is a shift in power. That was really a game changer for us.
Motivation is not something that you were born with. It's a muscle.
Luxury is entering a new era, one defined by personalization, storytelling, and sustainability.
So the landscape changed a lot.
It's no longer just about opulence.
Now you're looking at this new luxury horizon.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Changemakers with Forbes India and Hilton. We are ready to dive into another exciting dialogue on cutting-edge trends, breakthrough success stories, and opportunities that are steering India's economic evolution. We are excited to host 3 incredible changemakers who are leading the transformation, blending creativity, innovation, and expertise in their fields. Let's meet them. First up, we have Shantanu Mehra and Nikhil Mehra, entrepreneurs and co-founders of Shantanu Nikhil, a brand redefining luxury fashion by blending Indian heritage with contemporary elegance. And then we have Pooja Makhija, celebrity nutritionist, author and entrepreneur, pioneering the integration of wellness into luxury experience with personalized health solutions. Welcome to the Changemakers platform, all of you. In this world where everything is fast food, fast delivery, fast fashion, what does luxury mean to you?
I mean, for me, it's slightly spiritual. The civilization we belong to, there's a lot of storytelling that happens. And I think that if there is a way to tell stories through your craft and the world takes notice of it, I think that's a luxurious moment because that's when you really want to be a part of that thought, idea, community.
You know, I feel that given that we've been in this dynamic fashion industry for almost 25 years now, we've seen the industry evolve dramatically from being overtly traditional to someone like us always unshackling traditionalism, questioning it and saying, can we represent a decadent, a new side of India which the world doesn't know of. So for us, stepping into that world of fashion, having an anti-trend view of what India means to the world was luxury, because being traditionally opulent, using all the traditional tools was a necessity. So it started off as luxury, that can we step into this new horizon of fashion, can we move the needle? This whole concept of too much heritage and the exclusivity of it all has also gone into becoming something where experiences are becoming more and more premium and there is meaningful accessibility to luxury. We've seen that happen. We've seen how the bridal market is just changing from being overtly ceremonial to being micro-wedding, being a micro-wedding culture. So a lot of these shifts is also changing from our fashion perspective, this whole new concept of luxury, where there is inclusivity and yet the burden of exclusivity is slowly but surely fading away. But that inclusion of a customer is luxury in this country.
And since you guys started off, if you can also give me an understanding on how has your consumer changed? Like, how have their demands about luxury evolved over the years?
I'll give you a very simple example.
Yeah.
Back in the day, if you went to a designer, you would expect a great quality product. That was like the epitome, the plinth of design was, it's got to be great quality. But now it's just an expectation which is so usual.
Yeah.
Quality.
It's given.
It's given. I mean, you can't use that as the plinth anymore. It is a luxury they deserve to have, and that's why you exist. So based on comfort, functionality, technology, and the rest of the creativity, those little bars are getting added, and that's what you're getting from a customer, or you're giving to a customer. So the landscape changed a lot. Now it doesn't matter if you're popular or if you're known. Things that are taken for granted are actually require a lot of work.
In today's time and age, luxury is being healthy and disease-free. That in itself is something that not all of us can be proud of or achieve.
I think intrinsically India has been a community-based country where we always looked out for others. We spent a large amount of time in our lives to making sure that our siblings, our parents, and the rest of the ecosystem was
Taken care of.
Yeah, through us. Each one of us was involved or still is. So we really did not have any time for self-love. And I think post-COVID, a lot of humans have realized, at least
Life
here,
is short.
that if we don't love ourselves, we're not going to be able to extend ourselves for others. And it's happened like real time. So when there's self-love, then there is a budget for self. And when there is a budget for self, then there is self-education.
And with luxury consumers that demand hyper-personalization, they depend on you day in, day out. How do you balance, let's say, meeting their expectations?
So the idea with nutrition is that it's always has to be personalized, right? So there's not one fit all rule, nor in fashion, nor in nutrition. See, everyone wants to feel their best, okay? The fact that they would reach out to a professional is perhaps because they are not able to achieve that through the food on the plate that they are currently eating. One is to feel good. Most don't come with that thought. Most come with the thought of I want to look good, right? Now, whether you're talking about celebrities or you're talking about you and I, okay? Most of my clients sit across only because they want to look good. But that's where the narrative has to change. And you being the boss, our time on earth is destined. But the quality of life we live isn't. That is dictated by this. The one action of how you can feed, nurture, and take care of your body.
How has behavior of a luxury consumer shifted? You know, have they become more discerning as compared to before? With the increase in exposure, increasing social media, increase in access, have they become more discerning?
I'll tell you, what has happened in fashion is because we took this treacherous path of being absolutely contemporary and kind of ride that wave of showing a modern India in the form of silhouettes, minimalism, bring in ornamentation which is more artistic than being heritage. That by itself changed the way we wanted the consumer to change. So the first 14 or 15 years of who we were as a brand was just about rationalizing and educating the industry at large, the consumer at large, that this is the side of India we see, whether you wear it for your wedding or you wear it for your trousseau or you wear it for lifestyle purposes, there is a certain part of minimalism that will become luxury. So maximalism for us is not so much luxury as much as minimalism is, because like they say, little details, the quality of it all, we take quality for granted, but when you work on minimalism, quality can be seen with a very, very close lens.
So how do you look at, and how does your customer base look at wellness today? How has that changed?
Fashion is ever evolving, but again, fashion has classics. Okay? The same way nutrition has to be, your basic nutrition has to be classic. Right? Upar se cherry on the cake and matcha and avocados will come and go. But the idea here is to remind people of what is traditionally, ethically, and culturally you. I go down to the root level. Our culture has the richest, most balanced thali in the world. Okay, that's the best diet ever. Because we have thought of literally every scenario where it comes to microdosing or chronobiology, or talk about using Ayurveda and science and sunset, sunrise, and whatever they call it today. The West studies it, labels it, intermittent fasting, culturally ours. Eat according to chronobiology, which means start with sunrise, stop at sunset. Culturally ours. Talk about turmeric lattes. So very ours. Our Indian thali is the basis of good nutrition. And that's what we have to teach our children. That learn and eat how your grandparents did. Do we have to change? Evolve. I'm not saying stagnate. But the answer lies in the root. The answer lies in basics. And that's where we all have to go back to.
Luxury will start getting decoded, at least on the nutrition front, as long as we continue to widen our horizon. I feel fashion and nutrition have a similar battle.
Yeah.
Like, nutrition was something that was taken for granted because we've come from this really close-knit families that, you know, kind of support each other and say, okay, jo dada khate the, our forefathers used to. Now is the new, this is exactly what we went through. How did we break the shackles from moving away from just being couturiers to kind of reaching out to a larger audience? Because this is a mammoth country.
And you know, here you are, super high-end, luxury designers, democratizing, and speaking about democratizing luxury, and on the other end, we have mass FMCG brands going on this massive premiumization drive in India. So if I may ask you, the difference between premium and luxury, how do you spot that difference? What is the difference?
There's a big amount of storytelling in all the collections we make. Even so, when you say what is the difference between premium and couture, even in the premium space, we are giving out interesting stories. The color palettes are based on the inspiration, and that is very inclusive, as opposed to just putting something on the rack and saying, listen, you're going out to a party, just wear it and go, and I have 1,000 more at the back of the office. So the moment you leave, I'll put in another one and I'll send that person out as well. So ours is a bit more, it's a lot more personal.
Yeah. Storytelling is really the key to creating that emotional resonance in luxury. Tell us, when you're working with some of these celebrities, Bollywood stars and cricketers and so on and so forth, how do you ensure that, you know, you weave in their personalities as well? It reflects in your designs.
You want gossip?
Yeah, why not? Of course.
Firstly, if a celebrity is reaching out to you, it's very clear what he wants or she wants. Those days are gone when a celebrity will reach out to you just because you're popular. Usually celebrities are more popular than designers.
Yeah.
And at the time when they are getting popular, they will reach out to make sure that they look the best in what you create for them. For that, there has to be an energy, frequency exchange at a design level. We have seen most successful celebrities are always dependent on your skill. We're quite lucky that we get celebrities who come with only the expectation of us making them look good. And so it's much easier. And now with stylists coming in the middle, it becomes clearer, but it's also slightly cluttered because they also have 5 other designers presenting the looks.
Yeah.
It's good for competition. We love competition. We love playing sports. So for us to compete is good.
If there is a good synergy, there's a good alignment of thoughts. And with Nikhil, when Nikhil said there are stylists and managers coming in and intervening and say, this is the positioning of a star, this is the brand's positioning, and together they fit. It wasn't that before. Yeah. It was how popular you are, and he wants to look a certain way. Now, I think most actors and sportsmen, they have a certain brand aura and a positioning strategy governed by their stylists and PR agencies, and they know very clearly which brand fits well. So it makes a lot easier for someone like us, or for that matter, any designer who fits the bill of what the personality trait of that.
Yeah, but these are people who you've been working with for so many years. But what about a new one who approaches you? Is it difficult to crack initially working with some of these celebs?
Sometimes they have an opinion which doesn't go with who they are. And then it's our job to correct them.
So designer and psychologist.
I think we're both.
Yeah.
Specifically when it comes to brides and grooms, they're at such a vulnerable stage in their life when they come to us. It's only 3 months before they're going to be together for the rest of their lives. So there's a lot. And we get to really interact with them deeply through their clothes. And so the interaction is quite amazing.
Shantanu, innovation in the luxury market. So if you can tell us, how do you identify and create, some of these innovative concepts in fashion that, outlive the trends that are there in the market?
So it all started with when we decided to unshackle traditionalism, we needed to change silhouettes. For us, I think we became the first Indian designers to have done a sari gown which was pre-pleated. It was, you could zip it up in precisely 15 seconds and you have a shape of a sari and you can walk out. We also very early in 2006, when Shilpa Shetty walked the green carpet when she won Big Brother in London, which is a huge phenomenon at that point in time of somebody taking India on a global stage. She asked us to create a gown for her, like a straight-fitted gown, which was obviously something that wasn't done in India. Holistically speaking, it was not the country that understood the pattern of how to make a gown and how to kind of carve that silhouette out. So that gave us an opportunity to understand the gown market in a way where we replaced a lehenga with a volume gown, where we felt that the bride could now wear a piece of clothing that had the volume of a lehenga, but it was actually a draped gown. So that kind of took over the sangeet and cocktail function as one of her go-to event silhouettes. So like that, there have been instances of us introducing drapes in menwear, because Nikhil and I used to get bored of seeing traditional sherwanis touching your ankle length, overtly embroidered. So we felt, can we create a length which almost just kisses the knee, it sharpens, it's got strong tailoring to it, can we bring in a sense of military chic to it? So I think they've been, contemporizing India has itself been such a beautiful journey for us to really continue to evolve and disrupt.
And we've been doing this now for a while. I think it comes from our DNA of playing a lot of sport. So a lot of the fabrics that we use in menswear, which could be in traditional menswear, is still coming from a contemporary textile. And that's what makes the romance even more exciting. Is that now you have a sherwani or a band gala, but it's super fitted, it's got lycra in it, it's got a lining which also stretches. You're able to maneuver from getting out of the car to going into a wedding place, which was a tough thing for men. I mean, men have gone through a real serious problem when it came to Indian clothing in India. The kurtas were always loose. So they made guys look like they're fuddy-duddy, they're kind of poets. Not interested in anything else but themselves, erudites. And then when we shifted that gear from, this loose, overweight man who feels and looks overweight but isn't, we shifted him to a fitted silhouette with a stretch fabric, which was a bit more thought into stretch, into physique and fitness. And that was really a game changer for us. So today, if you see a SNN piece or a Shantanu piece, you'll know it because of the way it fits and the functionality, the agility that the person wearing it shows.
I want to ask you, is sustainability a privilege?
We've always been a hand-me-down community in a society. Even when we had our kids, the first material that came to us wasn't bought. It came from friends or families who had kids. And if you look at even the way we have our tea at a railway station, it's in kullars. So we come from that community. Even today, I think when it comes to Indian tradition, we are still very sustainable. It's the fast fashion that's bringing the jitters.
Yeah.
Fast fashion is not longevity. It is the confusion of the mind. So I think when we do classic core pieces that have a particular style to it, they will last longer in your wardrobe. Yeah. That itself means you're a sustainable brand.
Yeah.
If you look at it subconsciously, as Indian, as designers, and that also couturiers, we are sustainable because we only drop 2 big collections in a season, and everything is customized and made to order. So the whole confidential approach of reaching out to a consumer through a bespoke service is by itself sustainable. Our bridge to luxury brand SNN by Shantanu Nikhil is also sustainable in that sense because we only have a network. In our minds, we know that we cannot open more than so many stores in this part of the world, which means that we are obviously not propagating fast fashion. It's still premium. It is still a dress-up brand. And the moment you have a dress-up format to who you are as a brand, and you always want to look good, then you'll always have collections that are sustainable in that sense. We may not use the fabrics that are literally sustainable, but we have the intent of not dropping collections every 20 days, 15 days. So I think that is the mentality that obviously we come with as socially responsible entrepreneurs / artists, and I think we'll continue to do that further.
Yeah. Yeah. Shantanu, as a leader in the luxury market, how do you see your role evolving going forward?
From the very outset of our journey, thought that we knew everything on the subject matter. So we were the authority. But over a period of time, as leaders of change, you realize that the art of moving away from that whole attitude of taking to the attitude of giving, and in our case, the attitude of giving is, like I very clearly align with Pooja here, is that you have to live your knowledge and give it to the people so that they can help you climb the Everest.
Yeah.
I think with this whole new urbanization at a behest, where you're seeing close to 450 million people under the age of 35, this change, there is a shift in power. Now, luxury is now slowly but surely becoming neo-luxury, where aspirations are being created. You have maximum wealth sitting in tier 2, tier 3 cities, but how do they access luxury? There is this consumer who is right now on the cusp of not being a victim of too much exclusivity, but at the same time wants a certain backstory from a brand. And the moment there is a story that resonates and your product, your communication makes that happen, there is a sense of meaningful accessibility. That's where luxury in this country is going. This new luxury horizon just suddenly opening up with accessibility. But that accessibility doesn't mean that it is masstige, but it is still
Niche.
kind of becoming, somebody is fulfilling the belly of the pyramid, which was up until now vacant. I feel that is where aspirations are going to get created. You're vertically, you're actually democratically cutting the vertical, and you're moving up the ladder.
Yeah. If you were to give one piece of advice to the next generation of change makers in your field, in your space, what would that be?
The ability to teach people and not dictate terms. Okay, the minute you are able to explain with reason and give examples and back it up with evidence, study-based evidence, I think that in itself is a quality where you automatically attract the crowd and you automatically become that leader.
If you're a designer, then please get your Shantanu, because you need the partner to simplify, quantify, and execute.
You know, as leaders and as founders of a brand, more often than not, we fight our battles in our mind. Any budding Indian designer, or for that matter, any entrepreneur, should start from this very mindset that I'm not in control of power. I know what I'm capable of. And it's all about sharing and aligning your thoughts and building the team quickly. The moment you are on the cusp of doing something great, don't leave everything to yourself. Share it, build a team, even though it could be a smaller team to begin with, but that dream cannot be just held on by you, it needs to be shared.
Yeah.
These are some of the things that most young entrepreneurs have already understood. They've thought of an idea and built it with the team.
Usually things are very insecure. Designers are, plinth is insecurity, because we are unsure of everything till it happens, till someone validates it. So I think Shantanu's point is really, really important here, because you would need to find security in your team for you to unleash the value proposition that you come with.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Well, thanks to our inspiring speakers for sharing their insights on what defines luxury in today's world. Their perspectives have truly illuminated the shift towards personalization, sustainability, and innovation in the luxury market. Stay tuned for our next episode of The Changemakers, where we continue to explore the stories shaping India's future. Thank you for joining us.